If you're a Catholic husband who lies awake at night thinking, I don't earn enough, my wife deserves better, my kids deserve more, I'm failing as a provider, this video is for you. Money shame hits men hard, especially competent men in their 30s, 40s, 50s, who look successful on paper but feel behind. Today, we're going to talk about how a Catholic husband faces that shame head on without collapsing into despair or selling his soul to money. So, here's a composite case from the logs of our AI coach, Nolan Bot, and also real life men that I've worked with inside our coaching community. Well, I earn okay money, but compared to my peers, I feel way behind. My wife is anxious about the future. We argue about spending, and inside I feel like a fraud. I procrastinate on career moves because I'm scared of failing. Spiritually, I know God will provide, but practically, I just feel like I'm not enough. How should a Catholic husband handle this? If that's you, you're not lazy and you're not crazy. In this video, we'll cover first what Catholic teaching actually requires of you as a provider. Second, how money shame messes with your mind and your marriage. Third, a simple battle plan to grow in provision without making money your God. Stay with me because this isn't just about your bank balance. It's about your identity as a man before God. So, what does God actually ask of you as a provider? Moral theology is clear on a few points. A husband and father is obliged in justice to provide for his family according to their state in life: food, shelter, education, basic security. He's not obliged to make his family rich or match his neighbor's lifestyle. He sins if he is careless, lazy, reckless with work and money, or if he makes money an idol that crushes his wife, children, or his own soul. So the question is not, am I a millionaire yet? The question is, am I working diligently, prudently, and ordering our life according to God's will? Or am I avoiding my responsibilities? Now, St. Philip Neri said, men are generally the carpenters of their own crosses. That applies to money too. Some crosses are unavoidable: illness, redundancy. Others we build ourselves through procrastination, overspending, or pride. The spiritual combat is distinguishing unjust self-accusation. I'm a failure because I'm not rich, from true guilt. I'm avoiding hard things I know I should do. So let me stop you for a second, because this is where shame usually makes a man click away. You hear money and your brain goes straight to, I'm behind. I've blown years. It's too late. But ask yourself honestly, who benefits if you stay stuck in that story? Not your wife, not your kids. The only one who benefits is the enemy of your soul, who would love you to believe you've already disqualified as a provider, so you stop fighting. Stay with me, because in a moment I'm going to give you a very concrete, very practical battle plan rooted in Catholic moral theology and basic psychology for a man who wants to climb without making money into a god. Think of this as learning to fight the right war, not against your payslip, but against despair, laziness, and comparison. So, how does money shame distort your mind and your marriage? From psychology, we know shame tends to drive avoidance, not action. Men under chronic shame either overwork in a frantic way or underwork and numb out with screens, porn, or hobbies. And couples under financial stress often start seeing each other as threats, not allies. So wives say things like, he's always worrying about money, but never makes a plan. He shuts down when I ask about finances. Or he tells me to trust him, but I never see him actually lead. So you get a vicious cycle. You feel behind, then you freeze or go numb. She feels unsafe, then she pushes or nags. You feel disrespected, and then you feel more shame. Now, biologically, chronic financial stress jacks up cortisol, wrecks sleep, and makes you less decisive, less creative, which makes you worse at the very thing you're stressed about. Spiritually, the devil whispers two lies. You're worthless because you're not rich. If you give everything to work, you'll finally be safe. Both are false. You are not your income, and money cannot save you. But you are responsible for doing what you reasonably can with the talents and opportunity God has given you. So here's a Catholic battle plan for financial growth. We'll keep this simple: truth, plan, and communication. Here's the truth: brutal honesty before God. Once a week, sit down with your bank statements, your debts, your income, your regular expenses, and in God's presence say, Lord, here is the truth of our situation. Show me where I've been unjust, where I've been fearful, and where you've been calling me to act. So examine, am I wasting money on obvious luxuries while claiming poverty? Am I hiding from opportunities out of fear of failure? Am I expecting my wife to live in constant anxiety while I keep treats I could easily cut? This is Scopoli's spiritual combat in the arena of money, fighting self-will and comfort instead of blaming circumstances. Next, a plan with small concrete steps. Men in our community who turn this around do not usually manifest a lottery win. They do things like get clarity on their real monthly number, needs versus wants. Cut 2 to 3 non-essentials that free up real cash, and schedule one uncomfortable career advancing action weekly. Could be a conversation, a skill, a side project. And they put automatic systems in place, direct debit to savings, debt repayment, etc. This is not about hustle culture. This is about prudence and diligence, classic virtues. Moral theology doesn't demand you burn out to impress your wife. It does demand you don't bury your talents in the ground. And then communication, lead by bringing her in. A lot of wives' anxiety isn't just, we don't have enough. It's, I don't know what's going on, and I don't see him taking it seriously. So call a money meeting with your wife. Admit honestly where you failed or avoided. Show her the numbers. Present a simple plan. Here's what I'm committing to this quarter. Here is where I'd value your input. Here's what we're cutting together. You're not dumping your anxiety on her. You're inviting her into the mission. That alone, being clear, humble, and proactive, often lowers a wife's emotional temperature dramatically. And here's a weekly examine for providers. Once a week, ask, did I work diligently this week, even if results are slow? Second, did I avoid out of fear? Was there a hard action I postponed again? Third, did I seek God or worship money? Prayer, mass, confession, or did I drop those first? Then make one small resolution. One thing you'll cut, one thing you'll try, and one time you'll talk to her. Bring it to confession if you've sinned in laziness, greed, or despair. Receive the grace to fight anew. God is not surprised by your payslip. He cares far more about your faithfulness than about your headline income. And inside Patriarchy School, money comes up constantly. men torn between career and family, wives anxious and nagging, husbands paralyzed by comparison. So we give you a clear Catholic framework for money and provision, tools and accountability to actually move forward, and other men around you who will not let you drown in shame. If you want to stop avoiding and start acting, head over to patriarchy.com/start to begin the journey.